guys, this is Heidi and you're watching Heidi K Makeup. I have a little bit of a makeup wish list. I've been seeing a lot of anti-hauls coming up in my subscription feed, and honestly, okay, real talk guys, there's like, I'm having some mixed feelings because I feel like my collection, if you haven't seen it, I'll link it down below. It fits in one drawer and it's finally to a point where I feel really good about it. I feel like my collection has finally reached a point where I'm okay with it growing. And yeah, and so it's a weird place to be because I feel like a lot of you guys watch me for project pans, and I think that I'll still do project pans, but I think I'm going to take a big step back from them on this coming year because there's just not a lot of things I want to finish up. So, you know, for example, I'm to a point where I keep one eyeliner at a time and one mascara open at a time and one foundation for the most part. Right now I have two foundations, but they mix. But like one face powder, like I just have, I've just reached a point in my collection where I just feel like, okay, so if my collection grew now, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But I know a lot of you guys are trying to shrink down your collection. So I don't want to turn into one of those YouTubers that's constantly hauling things either. So I don't know what I'm saying, but basically there's some things on my wish list that I kind of want to take you through, and there's some stuff that I ordered. I am going to have a haul coming up here pretty soon, and we'll kind of talk about that haul once I get my final order in. I ordered something from Stila, so yeah, so here are some of the things that I have been kind of wishing for and wanting to try out and just really intrigued by. So the first thing that I like literally cannot stop thinking about is by Butter London. In fact, there's a lot of things by Butter London I want to try. I'm really intrigued by their lip products, and I definitely want to try they have like this mousse, I think they call it like an eye gloss, like glazing eye gloss, and it's like I swatched it in Ulta the other day, and it's kind of like this moussey consistency. If I can find a picture, I will go ahead and insert it right here. But if I do find a picture, it's one that I just took off the internet. It's not something that I took a picture of. But it's not like these. Let me see if I can find one that's not almost all gone. It's not like these by Flower Beauty, which are also kind of a moussey consistency. I don't know if you've ever tried these. I think these are discontinued, but not quite like that. It's even more kind of like jelly, bouncy kind of feeling. And they have this shade called Oil Slick, which is basically a dupe in terms of shade color for like Max Club or Too Faced Label Whore, or there was a shadow in the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette, that kind of like brown red that has like gold and green and blue or not green and blue and kind of like purple flashback reflex. And I just, every time I see video or photo of it, I just am like, that is beautiful and I want to try it. But I did say I didn't really want my eyeshadow collection to grow much this year. The more I think about my eyeshadow collection though, the more I realize I actually kind of am okay with it growing. Like I have the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, which I'm panning this year and I'm wearing today. Really enjoying that actually. And then I have my Anastasia Beverly Hills Self-Made palette and the Balm Nude Dude palette. And those are literally my only 3 high-end palettes that I own right now. And Too Faced will be gone by the end of the year. And so, and then, you know, I had a total of 9 palettes when I counted up my inventory, and now I have, so I have those 3, and then I have 2 of those palettes that I counted as palettes are quads by Pacifica, these guys, which I like, but I don't feel like they're complete. I feel like I really need to bring in some matte shadows to go with them because they don't really have any good transition-y kind of shade. And then I have 2 of these sleek palettes, which which one are you? The original. Okay, let me show you this. This one only has one matte shade in it. And it is this matte black in the corner over there. And again, it's nice, but I feel like I can't do a complete look. Like, I feel like I need to pull in some other shadows from it. And then the last palette that I have is this enormous one. And this is the palette that makes me say, I don't really need eyeshadow, because anything that I do need, I could pull from this. But this is not travel friendly. I can't throw this in a bag or anything. So I don't know if I'm just trying to justify palette purchases, because I did pick up a palette that's going to show up in the haul. And there's a Butter London palette that I'm just really intrigued by. It has 6 eyeshadows in it, and then it has, you can like pop them out and buy their little duos and pop other ones in, which just seemed really like a cool concept to me. I feel like nobody talks about Butter London, but I've moved here recently, and the Butter London display at my new Ulta is much more impressive than the Butter London display was at my old Ulta. And so I feel like I always used to just walk right past it, and now I don't do that. Like, I was very intrigued. And then they've got all these lip products as well. And if you guys know, my lip collection is not that huge right now. You know, I used to have literally hundreds, at least over 100, at least 150, I want to say, but probably closer to 200, maybe even more than that, lipsticks. And now I have, I think my inventory was something like 6 lipsticks. And I'm finding myself thinking, this is kind of like a whiny video, which is not what I meant for it to be, but I'm finding myself thinking a lot about some lipsticks that I used to have that I'd like to purchase again. Like, there's a lot of things that I panned that I've thought about literally since I panned them. So like, I really want to get Flower Beauty's Baby Buttercup and Ginger Lily in my collection again. And I am almost done panning. This is going to be a sneak peek if I can find the lipstick. No, I can't find it. I think it's in my makeup bag, which is in the car. But I'm almost done panning the lipstick that I'm wearing today, which is Pretty Natural from Milani. And it's the kind of shade where I'm like, man, when I'm done with this, I would like to have this in my collection again. I've also found myself thinking a lot about a lipstick that I had, a liquid lipstick that I had by Milani called Violet Addict, which they seem to have discontinued. But every time I wore that, I got compliments. And I'm like, I'd kind of like a dupe for that, because I really, really, really enjoyed that lipstick. And then I, as part of my purchase, bought, where is it? Bought this lipstick by Stila. And I really like the formula on this. I was very, very impressed. Anyway, I don't really know what the point of this video is, except to say I've reached a point where there's just a lot of things on my wish list where I'm like, I really want to buy some stuff, right? But I know that the core of this channel is about using what you have, and a lot of people watch me for project pans, and so it's like, so do I want to continue to project pan? I think I'll always project pan. Like, I think I'll always focus up on using products because I don't want them to go bad. And I'm a little nervous because I don't want my collection to suddenly explode, because I'm like, okay, I've had this huge declutter. I can finally start buying things again, and then turn back into the person that I was. But I don't think that's going to happen, because I've spent 4 years moving into cruelty-free, and when I started moving into cruelty-free, that's when I started project panning. But for the last 2 years is when I started really, really, really taking it seriously. And so I feel like some of my shopping habits have really changed. Like, I don't foresee myself going out and buying a million foundations or face powders or mascaras or eyeliners. I see myself saying, okay, use what you have and then move on with all of those kinds of products. And then possibly moving into purchasing some more things in the way of lip colors and eye colors. But I don't know. Like, I feel like I've spent 4 years really working towards this point, so I don't want to go undo it by buying a bunch of stuff. But this was kind of the point, was to get to a point where, like, makeup is fun and not overwhelming for me anymore, where my collection doesn't feel like just ridiculous, which sometimes when I watch collection videos now, I'm just like, you know, and I'm not hating on anyone, like, have the collection that makes you happy, but I would not be happy with that much makeup. I would feel overwhelmed, and I finally don't feel overwhelmed anymore. So anyways, all that is to say, I want to get a Butter London Glazing Gloss eyeshadow. I want to pick up some stuff from Makeup Geek. That's been on my list for a while, and what has kept me from doing it is that I don't really like eyeshadow singles. But I think if I put them in like a Z palette, like I don't like eyeshadow singles so much that I have this Z palette that I've had for a while that is just sitting empty because I don't buy singles. But I think that maybe if I picked up some Makeup Geek shadows, I'd want to put that in there. There's some stuff I want to try from other online brands like ColourPop. And then definitely some stuff from Butter London. I want to try some more stuff from Stila, but I also don't want to end up overwhelmed with products again. You know what I mean? So I don't really know what the point of this video is, except to say, let me know in the comments what you think about me starting to purchase a little bit more, because I know a lot of you guys don't want to watch hauls because you're on no buys or low buys or that kind of thing. But I don't foresee myself wanting to do a million seasonal project pans like I was doing before. Like I have one going right now, but once that's done, I don't know. Like I just don't know. So kind of a whiny video, I guess. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Bye.